As a footballer, I'm still stuck by that. I think he looked amazing. But unfortunately,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fancy Football. My name is Philip, and good to have you here once more on a Saturday morning, or rather on a Saturday, on a Saturday, yes, on a Saturday morning. Yeah, good to have you here. With me on the show this morning is Nonso Arinzechi. Nonso, good morning, and how are you?
Good morning to you too. I'm doing good. Thank you very much. I'm great to be here again.
Yeah, it's no news that the Nigerian Super Eagles have booked their place together with Congo DR or DR Congo in the semi-finals of the African Nations Cup. Uh, I think we all watched the match yesterday, and we did a reaction on it.
Yeah,
It was a wonderful display by the Super Eagles at virtually almost all the point in the match. But we also saw the other match between DR Congo and Guinea, where the Guineans took the lead in the 20th minutes, but the DR Congos responded 10 minutes later in the match,
yeah,
and later went to win the match by that. That was their first win in this AFCON. Virtually all the last 3 matches or 4 matches they've played, they've ended in a draw. That was their first
yeah.
win in this AFCON. That is first direct win, complete win in this AFCON. Also, just your take before we dive into the matter of the day. What's your take about those 2 matches in the next 3 minutes, please?
Yeah. I don't think I need 3 minutes. I think we did justice to the Super Eagles game yesterday night. The
Yeah,
Super Eagles again reigned supreme, 4 clean sheets. I think the only goalkeeper who has done that for Nigeria, the AFCON, is Shego Ogedembe in the 1980s. Wabali
yeah,
has now joined that elite group. Even the Yama did not have that at the AFCON. So big one for Abali, big one for Adebra Lukman. Also, like you said, join the likes of JJ Okocha, Yashir Akiri, like you did say yesterday, to join the league of big boys. I've scored 3 goals at the knockout stages of the AFCON. So kudos to Adebra Lukman. Kudos to Pesaro for keeping to his formation and his setup. Though I still argue, and I don't know why Nigerians would not want to believe me when I say the man has got a lot of work still to be done. He seemed to be more or less reactive than proactive. He is more or less a spectator and a tactician. Where he needs to help the team, he has failed so far in this competition. But I think the setup and the quality of the players on the offing has shined for Nigeria, and this could just lead them to yet another African Cup of Nations if they continue playing this way. I'm not one who be hailing. I think I'm reading some article throughout this morning, and I see people writing good things about Wabali, about how he's the next big thing and whatever he has done at this competition. I stand to be corrected. Maybe they've got a better start than I have. After 4 games, he had only 8 saves. None of them were clear-cut saves. In the game yesterday, I can't remember a big save he made. The one that happened earlier on was a direct ball.
okay. Go
Was
ahead.
a direct ball to him. I don't think that was a reactive save. Yes, good reactions, but nobody should tell me that's a worldie. He didn't need to move his body. He just had it need to was raise his hand, and the ball was saved. So for me, I don't think he has been tested. The backline has reigned supreme. They have also, you know, covered him up. He has, as at Cameroon's game, it's after 35 minutes, no shot on target, and you come and start yelling Wabali. I still think I start with J.J. Okocha. He has not been tested. He has not been tested. When we see a game where teams dominate us or get past that defense, then we can now say, okay, oh, this guy is good or not. But for the DR Congo team, I saw it coming. I thought they would need extra time to win the game, like I said in my prediction. Guinea, they seem to be they flatter to deceive a lot. I've not really been convinced with their performance at the AFCON this year. You could also argue that maybe some of their better players have dropped form, like say Sadiq Keita, the man who played for Manchester City. Also, don't forget Seri Grassi. He has not been fully fit for them, and they've always relied on that man, Mohamed Yusuf Bayo. He scored yesterday. We thought, okay, maybe that league was only what they did, like they did against Equatorial Guinea. But then Dracogo responded, Maswaku responded, and Wisa responded, and that shows you that as much as we try to say they are Congo are not where they used to be in Africa football, but they've got some players playing top leagues. Pokambo, Wisa, Baswaku, they came out yesterday and they played their part in that victory. So kudos to their Congo. They are through the semi-final for the first time in a very long time. Now it's now whether how can they move a step further and now win it. They are closer to the end than the beginning. Like I love to say, tournament football is all about playing flamboyant football. It can't be Manchester City. Man City needs to play that way because they are playing a marathon. 38 games in a calendar year. But in the AFCON, unfortunately, I must tell you, it's no marathon, it's a sprint. 7 games and you are champions. And so far for their Congo, like you said, they're still undefeated. Yes, you could argue that the first official win at the AFCON, but come on, it doesn't matter. If you don't lose games, you don't get beaten. Simple, you don't get knocked out. That's what they've done so far. But the Super Eagles, yet another win, yet another clean sheet. I'm wondering what next for them. It's either Cape Verde or South Africa. We'll wait and see. I think both teams should be beatable. For Korea Congo to wait for the other game as well. But for me, come on, it was a great game, great stuff yesterday, great game of football yesterday. And the better teams won. They're through to the next round.
Okay, let's go into the business of today. 2 matches will be played today. I think Mali versus Ivory Coast, and the other match which we'll look at immediately as well, Cape Verde versus South Africa. Now, one of these teams is from West Africa. We all know how the West African play. I keep on saying it, and I keep on describing how the West African play. I mean, both of them are from West Africa. Both of them, not one of them. Both of them are from West Africa.
Yeah.
They play with power. They play with finesse. They have also technical players in their team. Just describe to me how these two teams will play, or we come to the pitch of play to display what they have against each other.
I'll start with Cote d'Ivoire. Nobody gave them a chance to be in this place. I think to me they even look alien seated in the quarterfinal round of the AFCON, what we saw at the group stages. But football is a cruel game, and your tide can change as quickly as now. We saw the fact that they were awful against Nigeria. They were awful against Equatorial. They were the worst performance after the AFCON was Cote d'Ivoire. But who told? Wow, they're in the quarterfinals. How I can't explain. I think they wouldn't change anything. They will go stick with the way. I look at the Coach Faye, the interim manager. With what he did against in that game where they had to win on penalties against Almighty Senegal. You can see that the fact there was something that they had to come, like I kept saying in that game, is that they fought. He gave some, his setup was a mixture of both the youth and experience. Players like Max Grandela has not played a minute before started that game. Players like what's his name returned for them, the striker who plays for Dortmund. I don't remember his name right now. The third lanky striker who at some point was in Ajax. Returned for them, and you could understand that he also got in Joan Seri, the defender midfielder who at some point was in the books of Fulham. So I think what he did was okay. Yes, it's good. These old players are on the bench, but we cannot rely on the younger players alone. We need to get a mixture. Imagine a coach who looked Frank Kessler in the eye and dropped him to the bench. I bet it's a day. A coach who looked at players who would like of Krasko, the likes of other top stars, Bamba, and even Jeremy Boga, and then played Max Grandel, who has got a lot of experience. Also, you can see the fact that this man Adingra, the guy who plays for Brighton over them, also came in as well and did his own bit, did so well. So for me, he will keep that same formation, 4-3-3, of course, but it will still be the mixture of both youth and experience. I think this game will come too good for LA. I think the last game he did not start. I think this game he would start. He will lead the line alongside the likes of Mas Grandera, whoever they could decide to play in the maybe Nicolas Pepe, who I think did so well when they came into the second half of that encounter, winning that penalty that forced that game to extra time. So for me, it's a 4-3 formation. I know what I'll tell you. If it's not broken, don't fix it. It was broken, and he did a lot of fixing against Senegal. And I think those changes made a huge impact in this way the boys played. You could not argue and say, well, if I find a better team on the night, but what you could say was that when they had their chance, they made use of it. They stayed in the game. Some coaches will tell you, no matter how bad the game is, ensure that you stay in the game. Do not do not try to overcook it. Do not try to overexploit it. Just stay in the game, and that is what Cote d'Ivoire did. And when their chance came, they scored. You could argue with the VAR, Bruhaha, and the penalty for Ismail Assar, but at the end of the day, the fact that they made the game so hard for the defending champions and the first that game the penalty tells you that the coach knows what he's doing. So for me, I think the same old 4-3 formation, mixture of youth and experience. Max Jardel, Sebastian Heller, Nicolas Pepe, Adrien Gade all played their parts. Not forgetting the man Seri Jean, who I think was their best player in that game against Senegal, because he was all over the place. All he did was mark. And you ask, okay, why didn't listen, Garcia play this man if he can mark this way? But every coach had a different, and every coach had their different style of football. Every coach and their own decision for the decision best known to them. So for me, I think the Cote d'Ivoire team should not overthink it and step up the same way they did. For Mali, also it has not been a bad tournament for them. But the problem is that you don't know which team will turn up. Not in the sense that they can play badly and they can play goodly. No, it's in the sense that the coach has not. You can't say this is first level. A certain game he started with Busuma. The next game he's dropping him. The next game he's starting with players who have played the likes of Kouyaté, but not the one in Fulham, the other Kouyaté. Yeah. And the next moment he's not playing him. So you don't even know what the coach is thinking. I think what gives Mali that surprise element. He plays. It reminds me of Jose Mourinho, who puts out of his team according to the power and the efficiency of the opponent. I think Mali will be licking their lips. As much as we could argue that Cote d'Ivoire themselves, they did knock out the defending champion Senegal on penalties. But I think Mali will be saying this Cote d'Ivoire team are beaten. This Cote d'Ivoire team are beaten 4-0 by Equatorial Guinea. They were beaten by Nigeria, So this team are beaten. They are the best losers out of the 4 that made it through. So you could argue that, this team there's something in there for him, because Mali themselves, I think they've only lost 1 game so far this competition. My calculations have been right, and so far so good. They have worked. I think they've not lost. I think they've got 2 draws and 1. Yes, yeah. Exactly. And they won their last game as well in the knockout round. So I fancy them. One thing about them is that, like you said, they don't lose games. Though they seem to consider odd goal. But I want to ask again, where I try to look at the Cote d'Ivoire team, but where would the goal come from? That is the problem. So for fans of Mali, you see, Seydou Keita was at the start the last time, powering them to victory, pushing them all the way. What Keita was when he played for the likes of Barcelona, and the Malian teams, the Eagles of Mali. So Mali are a big name in African football. Cote d'Ivoire are a big name in African football. In the past, please, somebody should hear me before they say Nozo has come again. They used to be the top teams in Africa, but the tide have changed. Both teams are of course, it's a terrible state, terrible is that word. Mali are in a rebuilding phase. So we'll see how it pans out. Both teams are equally matched. Cote d'Ivoire will get the backing of their fans. They're playing at their home ground, like they did against Senegal, who could be the tough, who could be that defining factor. When you have the crowd chanting for you, it could push you. You could play like your life depends on it. And when you get home, your legs are broken. I think that's what the Cote d'Ivoire players would have that extra push. But Mali, like I said, they've got experienced players as well who have been there, so they've done it at the highest stage. So we shouldn't expect anything more than a cracker in this semi-final and a great game of football. Yeah. But to me, I think they're evenly matched. There is no superior team among the two. Both teams can win. But I think Mali are in a better state than the Ivory Coast national team.
Okay, when we look at Mali's 5 past matches in the AFCON, 2-0 against South Africa. They were too strong against South Africa. 1-1 against Tunisia, and
Yeah.
they played 0-0 to Namibia as well.
Okay.
And in the round of 16, they defeated Burkina Faso 2-1 in a very, very feisty match. Okay, it seems they've been. I think the Malians have been in the last. The last match they played a West African side.
Yeah.
I think they will really know how to play against this Ivorian side, because in terms of power, I think when you look at the way the Malians play in terms of power and strength, when you look at Mbosuma, when you look at Haidara and the rest of the players, I think they are the team with the most aggressiveness in this AFCON. They are very, very aggressive, very, very strong. The Ivorians will have too much in their hands. And the Ivorians need to look for a way to beat this Malian side, because this Malian side will not just lie down for them because you are the host country and you beat Senegal. You beat Senegal on penalties, not in 90 minutes. We'll just lie down for you. So there will be no respect from this Malian side against this Ivorian side. So the Ivorian side should really work it. And for the Ivorians, we know how their own this in pan out. They won their first match against Guinea now, and they were beaten by the Super Eagles, Nigerian Super Eagles, by 1-0. And they were thumped. Let me use the word thumped
Yeah.
or touched by Equatorial Guinea, who have packed their bags as well. And they managed to qualify as the worst of the worst losers, according to Nonso, the worst of the worst losers. They managed to qualify for the round of 16, and they went on because of maybe one or two reasons: the fire, all the passion that they had, including the fans that they had in that stadium on that day. They went on to defeat the Senegalese. Got a late penalty against the Senegalese, and they managed to pull the game into extra time. Also managed to pull the game to penalties, and they won. And that, the kudos to them. But this is a different match, and this is a different opposition side. This opposition side are very, very strong. Majority of these players. Go ahead. Okay, majority of these players. Go ahead now.
I think majority of what they should look at is this for me. This is what I think. If Cote d'Ivoire will have to get something from this game, they have to watch out. Look at their games. Let's look at their past 4 games. They always have a quick start and they score an early goal. That was how they I think they stunned them Burkina Faso in the first 4 minutes. And that set the tone and the pace for Mali. They got the second goal. Burkina Faso got a goal. They crawled their way back. Burkina Faso crawled their way back through that second half penalty. First half penalty late in the first half by Bertrand Traore, but it was not enough. So I think Ivory Coast should know that. See, every team has got the way they play. If I'm the coach of Cote d'Ivoire, the first thing I'll do is ensure you stop their fast start. Because that is how they start. When they start the game, they're not very good in the second half. I want them to play a lot of time in the second half. They seem to be a bit leggy, gassed out, because their strength of that team, like you said, is in the midfield, the lack of Haidara, Busuma, and the rest of them. So when they work so hard in the first half and they try to take the pace and they take the flow of the ball, in the second half, they seem to get leggy. And Jade, I understand why, because it's not easy to dominate a game for 90 minutes. So I think because if we want to get something from this game, we have to find a way to stop their quick start. Avoid them having a great flow of the game in the first 10-15 minutes, or like what they will tell you, just be conservative first 10 minutes. Let us respect the opponent. And when we see that, they see that nothing is happening here, we then sting them. So for me, I think that's why I have to go to watch out for the fast start of the Malians. Always key in how their game ends up. So very important that the Ivory Coast team look at that and find a way to ensure that the Mali does not start like a hit and run car. Bang, bang, bang. And before we begin to find out who is the driver of the car, they're already gone. Absolutely. So it is what it is.
Okay, let's go into team news now. And in team news, we know there are rumors that, or not rumors, there are rumors that Mbosuma, since he didn't play in the round of 16, that he has picked up an injury in training. The Tottenham midfielder might be in doubt for this match, hopefully. Also, they're also concerned for Amadou Haidara as well, a man that was really wanted to be poached by Manchester United 2 years ago. There are doubts that because of his departure from the last game, and he received treatment. There was treatment from that last game against the Burkina Babes. So let's see how there might be a late fitness test for these players, but for the Malians to win this match, they need these two players because these are the two engine rooms in the midfield for the Malians. And for the Ivorians, they've welcomed back Sabasahale from injury. They've welcomed back Sabasahale from injury. I think he made a late substitute appearance against Senegal in that match. And also injury, what's his name? Ibrahim Sangare picked up a knock. The guy that plays for Sangare plays for Nottingham Forest now. Yes, he plays for Nottingham Forest. He moved from PSV to Nottingham Forest. PSV in Holland to Nottingham Forest. Whereas centre back Demandi we also, I think there are likely chances that he will feature in that Diamonde, yes, he will feature in the match as well. So let's see how it goes for the Ivorians and the Malians, how they will set up today in that match. That will kick off in.
See, let me say this. Let me say this before we go to the kickoff and everything. See, if Bissouma and Haidara does not make it to the starting level, I don't know what the medics should be doing right now. They should be praying to the gods of heaven. If they could go ahead and inject, I think Malay fans will take it. But if those two guys can't play, to me, I don't think they can stop this at Cote d'Ivoire. I told you, Cote d'Ivoire have welcomed back Sebastian Hele. They have welcomed back Adingra. We know what that boy can do when he's at Brighton. There's still a report that, like you said, their money can return. So it's a full-fledged Cote d'Ivoire team. If those two players are not there for Mali, it's like they had an 80% of winning that game, not 20%.
Yeah. But there's a but to that. The Ivorians, I don't really trust them. They were fired up in that last one. This is not Senegal they are playing anymore. So they might. I just feel that there's complacency in the Ivorian side, and you see through today. Let's move on. Okay, in terms of head, let's look at.
I think so.
Okay, let's look at the head-to-head.
Okay.
Since 1983, I think the Eagles have always beaten the Elephants all the time. The Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire, the Eagles of Mali have always beaten the Elephants. So the Eagles have only beaten the Elephants once. That is since 1983. That is only one win in how many years? That's going to go close to 30 years. That is close to 30 years of
absolutely
more than 30 years of football.
That's
40 years of football. Yes. So the Malians only one win in 40 years of football. That's okay. The Malians have, if you look at the Ivorians have beaten the Malians 19 times. Malians have 4 wins and 9 draw. If you look at a 9 draw, that is in 32, close to 32 meetings of this side. 32 meetings of this side have made. The Malians have 4 wins. But the bookmakers, because of what has been happening recently, the bookmakers have gone to decide that to predict a Malian win, a 1-0 win for Mali, because of the way the Malians have been structured and the way they play. According to what I think, it adjusts to what you have said in the analysis as well, that the Malians are fast starters and they can defend very well as well. In the second half, they defend very well. So let's see. Also the odds. When it comes to the odds, 5-2 for the Malians, and I still say so. Ivorians 5-4. So I think the Malians have upper hand. 90 minutes draw is 19-10. So I think the bookmakers are really looking at an outright win for Mali, and a draw as well. Looking at how it is to 90 minutes. So I think that's just it. Final take, the sports Bishop. What's your prediction?
My brother, as much as I love Cote d'Ivoire, And I think some of our journalists are enjoying the Cote d'Ivoire meals. I saw the pictures. They're having fun. Nigeria is the semi-final. They'll be there at least in the final. They at least Nigeria will play third place, but even if they lose. So, they're having fun though. They should enjoy themselves. At least they'll be there to the final. I can tell you because now it is sure that Nigeria will surely make it to the final because they will, at least if they lose semi-final, which I think they will not, they will play the third place game. So good luck for them. But I think Amanda has got enough for us. See, I think Cote d'Ivoire, like you said, will be complacent. That victory against Senegal was like a statement victory. They wanted to prove to the whole world that whatever happened in that game was no fluke. And the last, we're actually a big team. We've got big players that can hold them. So I think I expect complacency. And I think the Malian team will set up in a way to nullify whatever the Cote d'Ivoire team will bring. One, they will try to slow the game down. They know how to do it very, very well and make it very excruciating for Cote d'Ivoire to play. Don't want to rush to bring the ball down because they have the better midfielders. Don't get Cote d'Ivoire to ask good midfielders to Sekou Fofana. They have Ibrahim Sangare. They have Frank Kessie. They have Eritrea as well. But I think Mali looks more like an accomplished team than the Cote d'Ivoire team. So my crystal ball is saying also what you saying what my head is saying because I think Mali will win this one by 2-1 and dump out the co-host. I said it that the host will beat Senegal, but they'll lose the next game. And then since this is one game too far for them, they'll beat my Mali 2-1 and Mali will get to the semi-finals of the African competition.
Okay, Mali to win, according to the sport bishop. Okay, I think my own final take goes like this. I know that the Ivorian side will have momentum going to this match because they've beaten the defending champion. But take me for this and correct me if I'm wrong. The way they will set up against this Ivorian side, the way they will set up against this Malian side is different from the way they've set up against the Senegalese side. Because the Senegalese side, they were more defensive. They were more. They knew their limit where they could go and where they could. But against this Malian side, no be Mali who could attack them a bit, and that they will get.
They do their job.
Yeah.
And for me, I think the center will be full to the brim today. I expect a packed stadium. There will no space for anybody to sit today because that game against Senegalese will have rallied the whole nation. But I just feel sad for them that they will go back crying again, just like they did when they played Equatorial Guinea on the final day of the group stage. Well, let's see how it goes. I still think Mali will win this one. Despite Cote d'Ivoire, like I said, they will look at it. It's Mali. They will say, it's Mali. It's not Senegal. These people are beatable. Let's attack over 30 years. The bookmakers have told you that we have their number, and unfortunately, they will call that number. That number will not pick. Mali will win this one.
Yeah, man, they'll be waiting for you outside. Though. They can't come to Nigeria for you. Not like the Ivorians. Okay, that's much we can have on the show. That's much we can have on the show today. I think we've spent much of our time. We'll bring you by 11:30. We'll bring you the analysis between Cape Verde and South Africa by 11:30 because the sport bishop has too much on display today. So we'll be back here by 11:30, hopefully, to give you the.
No, we can go ahead. We can go ahead.
Okay, we can go ahead.
Yeah, we can go ahead. We can go ahead.
Okay,
We can go ahead.
Let's end.
Absolutely,
we can. Let's. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for being part of the show. Kindly subscribe to Fancy Football and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Thank you so much.
The subscribe button, please. Very important.
Yeah.
Let's go the page now.